I think it's part of the bull move off the low. I've been buying, adding as much as I can every time I get any free cash flow since June.
Crypto family, welcome back to the channel. We're going to be getting into a clip here from Raoul talking about his thoughts for Bitcoin, Ethereum over the next year. He gives an updated Bitcoin and ETH price prediction. He also gives his thoughts on, are we going into a deeper recession? Are we going to bounce back? How long is that going to take? He talks about all that in this recent interview he did a couple of days ago. So we wanted to share this clip with you guys. Let's go ahead and jump into it here.
Ghost of your generation is 2008. The ghost of my generation is 2000. All these VCs who are a little bit older, who are in their kind of 40s, they're like, oh my God, this is 2000 all over again. Tech crash, everything's going down 90%. Everybody else is like, well, obviously, what a recession means is that all the banks go bust, everything goes bust. That's not normal. My first recession was 1990. Stock market went down 28%, GDP growth contracted by 2%, house prices fell, and people got tipped out of jobs. Standard recession. Lasted a period of time, the world moved on. That's what I think we've actually got here, is a very ordinary recession driven by Federal Reserve raising rates and prices going up too fast, which means that people can't buy as much stuff because your wages aren't going as much. And so everything slows down. Where's the big imbalance, right? We don't have this, the banking system got sorted out a lot. They're just not allowed to lend as much money. So we don't have those imbalances. So it's very hard to see what's really going to blow up. Now, the bears who are still going, oh my God, this is the worst thing ever, are saying, well, earnings need to come down further. And therefore, we've got another leg lower. This is 2000 all over again. We're just not the same level of overvaluation of stuff. Yeah, we were overvalued, but that whole COVID boom has come off. If you look at something like ARK, it's gone back to where it was. Crypto has corrected to the bottom of its logarithmic channel. Everything's got back to where it should be.
So as you saw in that clip, Raoul was talking about how some of these major tech stocks are back to their 2020 prices before COVID happened, before we had all the big stimulus. You can see Netflix is currently trading at around $360. This was the price of Netflix during 2019 and was kind of that price around March of 2020 before we had the big COVID dump and before we had trillions and trillions of dollars printed into the ecosystem. So you can see Netflix is back to those prices it was at pre-COVID. And also when you look at Meta, this is Facebook, it's currently around those same prices. You can see back in 2019 and 2020, it was around $188 and currently it's at $151. So it still hasn't gotten back to those prices it was at around the pre-COVID time frame. But if you look at Bitcoin here, you can see Bitcoin is up huge versus its 2019-2020 prices. If you look at how high we're up from around 2020, around $8,000, we are up around 186% from the 2020 prices. So you can see in terms of these risk tech assets, Bitcoin has performed better than a lot of them. And one thing Raoul will be talking about here in the next clip is the federal funds rate. It has gone up a lot. So is it even a possibility for us to see any growth in the S&P, in the NASDAQ, in Bitcoin and Ethereum? He talks about that. Let's go ahead and check it out here.
I think this is a false narrative that the level of interest rates matter. What really matters is the rate of change. So when interest rates go from 0.5% to 4%, you really notice it fast until you adapt, right? So companies get a bit leaner, they're able to afford stuff, all that kind of stuff. But I don't think a 4% level of rates stops companies being built or growth happening or anything else. So I'm not sure that that's really the case, that the interest rate issues stop this. And, do you think you would not invest in AI because interest rates are 4%? No, that's bananas. If you look through these cycles, they tend to, the first year, once liquidity turns again, tends to be pretty positive. There'll be some choppiness as well. So it's not a up-only market. And then the year after that, when the Federal Reserve's dealing with now kind of sticky unemployment, growth that's not great, that's when they kind of tend to do a bit more QE, maybe chuck in another couple of rate cuts, and that's usually when the market goes, great, it's all over, and we go off to the races. So, it's not an instantaneous V shape. We'll all get back to full bags again, but it'll feel a lot better over the course of this year. A bit shaky. So every time the market sells off, everyone's going to see it's going back down to the lows. We're all screwed. I don't think so. So 2018 was the last time the Federal Reserve stopped raising rates. They didn't cut until, I think it was August 2019. So what happened was the moment the Fed went on hold, the markets went on an upside rampage. They were down kind of 30% and then they recovered. So not wildly dissimilar to now. And if I look out over the next year, well, the S&P did about 10%. The NASDAQ did about 14%. Kind of those growthy tech stocks, the kind of ARK style stuff, they did about 18%. So that was good. Bitcoin did 100%. And that's after it had gone up 400% and corrected. So, and even that didn't take back the all-time high. It took the following year for the all-time high to take out. So I think it's going to be a positive year, but that kind of choppy year where one minute you think, oh my God, it's going straight to the high. Then it's like, oh my God, it's gone back down. We're all going to die. And then it stabilizes. And it's generally, I think we'll look back and go, okay, we survived and we've actually made some money again, or made some money back. Let's put it that way.
So Raoul was talking about how fast Bitcoin bounces back after it gets out of a mini bear market or a mini recession. We saw back here in late 2018, early 2019, Bitcoin bounced back from around $3,500 all the way up to around $10,000 in a matter of a couple of months. It looks very similar to where we are right now currently. Are we going to have a couple more green months here for Bitcoin? And can we see Bitcoin get back up around this $40,000 price point? That's something that we're going to have to wait and see over the next couple of months, but Raoul definitely thinks so.
So I think it's part of the bull move off the low. I've been buying, adding as much as I can every time I get any free cash flow since June. And I think it's real. Of course, we'll get some sort of correction. My actual fear to think through, to get a bit more markets related, my fear here is, okay, the institutions and everybody FOMOs in. So ETH, let's say it hits 3,000, whether it's this year, next year, right? Well, there's going to be this stampede for people to come back in. There's 18% of the entire crypto market in stable coins, plus all of these institutions are waiting for price action. Now we've got a massive issue that ETH is deflationary the more activity there is. So you're going to get more people joining the space when there's less supply, and it's going to get price dislocations. I'm not sure that this deflationary thing, part of ETH, has been thought through fully what it could mean. So there's some points in time where this thing could get completely out of control. I don't think it's this year, but yeah.
Thank you guys for watching all the way to the end of the clip today. I hope you enjoyed everything that was in the video. I thought that this interview from Raoul, he touched on a lot of great points. If you found any value, make sure to hit that like button. My name is Aaron from the Bitcoin Bros. I'm out. I'll see you guys in the next one, and have a great rest of your day.